7 years now. And we've been doing every month in South Bay. Now, with that being said, we never thought about spending because, prior to the pandemic, San Francisco, East Bay had all their secure communities. So we didn't really want to compete. South Bay did not have anything, so that's when we started. Well, after the pandemic, a lot of those groups left, and now they don't have anyone to start doing meetups. So we've been, people from SF and East Bay start requesting to start doing more in those areas, and we will. We just have our first San Francisco meetup back in July 26th in the Google San Francisco office, and that was awesome. A lot of people show up. Fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of people from South Bay did not go to San Francisco, and that was always expected. But a lot of people from us said, "Fine," which means that is telling us that we want, we need to start doing more over there. So if you are in the SF area and you cannot make it to all the meetups in South Bay, know that in the future we're going to start doing more meetups over there. Also tell your friends what are those areas that we're expanding. So yeah. So our next meetup is actually going to be next Tuesday. It's a joint meetup with OWASP, and we have two great talks. So come back. That's going to be from 5 to 8. Then after that, we're going to have our other joint meetup with Silicon Valley Cybersecurity Meetup, and that's going to be on September 11th from 5 to 8. That one I don't want to say it's a CPF, but it's through the company Secure Warrior. So they have this challenge called Secure Warrior Challenge, and it's basically a competition. So it's more for application security. So if you're in those areas, that's definitely a place to go. Okay. Again, we do a lot of collaboration with different entities, OWASP, WISIS, cybersecurity, Silicon Valley Cybersecurity Meetup. So again, spread the word, tell them who we are, and if you know other organizations that would like to collaborate, we're open to that. Okay, and we have an announcement. We've been basically in every meetup, we've been telling people, hey, we have a conference in 5 years. So finally, we're going to release the theme, and this year's theme is Dia de los Hackers. Why? So it's going to fall November 2nd, and if you know, November 2nd, it's Dia de los Muertos, which is a holiday that is celebrated not only in Mexico but also in California. It's a huge thing. And so this year, because it's falling November 2nd, I said, well, why not remember all those hackers that make an impact and they're no longer here? So we're gonna create an altar, and we're gonna do a lot of things based on this thing. So tickets are open. Please come and support us. If you would like to present, the CFP is also open. I have to say, we have not made any announcements, okay? And I'm happy to say that right now we have over 40 submissions for talks. What we're doing this year compared to other years that we haven't done is we're gonna try to have 2 tracks, and we're gonna have 2 workshops or areas for workshops. That will depend on another announcement I'm gonna make. But again, that's the goal. At least we're gonna have 2 tracks, and we're gonna have 1 workshop. That's what it is. Also, if your company wants to sponsor the conference, please let them know that we're taking a sponsorship. Okay. Last but not least, obviously, I always like to thank Hacker Dojo. This has been our home for the conference since the first edition back in 2018, and we've been doing our meetups here for the last 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. I'm also a board member here, so I like this place. I don't know if you know the history of Hacker Dojo, but Pinterest started here. Pinterest started by some people show up and had an idea, and they start collaborating. And look at what Pinterest is now, right? There was also other startups that started here. So we are a makerspace and a hackerspace, and it's also non-profit. So the announcement is that there's a potential of expanding next door. So if you came down, you saw there's a building in the back, it's vacant. So potentially we're gonna start moving there in a few months. Hopefully it's before the conference, because that place is way bigger than this place. And if that's the case, then that means we're gonna have a bigger space for a bigger conference, right? So with that being said, there is a donation page at the front. If you would like to contribute to basically raise money to get the other place, it will help a lot, right? Especially if you're deciding to come and become a member. Now gonna have a bigger space to work here, and who knows, if you need an actual like co-working space, there's gonna be opportunities for co-working, okay? And I always like to thank my, my current and, past sponsors, because obviously we could not do it without them, right? And, I always like to mention that, because it is important. Being a nonprofit, sometimes it's very difficult to raise money, and people donate and stuff like that. So, they, were able to share some, and that's why we're still here. And again, with that, I, was asked, we need your help. And sometimes it's not just about money. Sometimes it's just about spreading the word, telling, your friends, family, who we are, what we do, telling them that if there is someone who wants to get into cybersecurity, tell them, we have a place here for them. Again, for the referrals. Now you're hiring, please let us know that you're hiring, so we can find your potential candidate, right? I always like to tell my story. Before I was part of Pacific Hackers, I was just an attendee. And, the reason why I got involved more in this is because this got me my job at the company that I currently work for. Basically, I gave a presentation, my boss was in the audience, and that was my interview. 5 days later, I got hired, right? And I skipped all the processes, the HR processes. I want the same for you, especially if you're looking for a job, right? Share your knowledge. Doesn't matter what it is. You probably know something that no one else will ever know. So share that. And who knows, your next employee, your next coworker might be in there, and good things might happen. Okay. Again, share the knowledge, sponsoring, if your company would like to sponsor not just the event, but help the organization to grow, please let us know. Okay. We have a Discord community that we're currently growing, and we're trying to be more active at it. Unfortunately, we have not, and that's our bad. But again, the more people, we start getting more people, and they start engaging more, we're going to, that's going to become a busier place. And also, my vision for the Discord is not just a place to collaborate and communicate, but again, share knowledge. If someone has a question, someone will be able to answer it. You might have a question at work, right? A problem you're dealing with. Without giving details, you can potentially let us know what's your problem, and we'll be able to help you. Okay. If you need to get a hold of me, this is my information. On Discord, you can find me as Margraf. I'm very active on LinkedIn. So sometimes I go into Twitter. I don't really post there. I'm always on Twitter from a visitor, but not as a submitting anything. So email always, and please follow our social media. We've been growing our social media, and yeah, that's how literally we've been growing in the last year. I can tell you that how we were a year ago to where we are now, we're in a totally different place, and it's because of you, because you're coming every month, because you're sharing the knowledge, because of all those things. Okay, so I just want to personally thank you for coming up today. I know it's a Saturday, it's middle of the day. You could be with your family, but you're here, so I really appreciate that. And also for the speakers who are going to share some of their knowledge. So with that, I'm just going to give a quick recap on Hacker Summer Camp. How many people went to DEF CON and Black Hat and Eastside Las Vegas? Okay, 3. No one else? No one else? Okay, well, good. That gives us an opportunity for, to tell you our experiences. So number one, actually, I forgot to, go to the website here, but this is the website for the phack.org, right? And again, the tickets are open, the CFP is open. We already have tickets, again, we have not announced anything, and we already have people bought tickets for the conference. So again, this is great. It's coming very well. This was not the case a few years ago when we started. We were having a hard time looking for speakers. Now we have over 40 submissions. Now we have a good problem to have, right? Because we can only pick some. And I can tell you there's some celebrities coming to the conference. That I can tell you. All right, so with that, I also have so we have a Flickr page where we've been, basically posting all the pictures from the different, at least from the latest events that we have. We have the Hack Debate, so in case you didn't know, we have another conference back in between Eastside San Francisco and RSA. That Monday, we created Hack Debate. It was the first time. The story with that is it was just going to be a 100-person gathering and turn out to be a 500-person, that eventually we have to turn away people because we couldn't fit them in the place. So next year, hopefully it's gonna be bigger and we can accommodate everybody, okay? We have the barbecue back in June. The winner of that barbecue won a DEF CON ticket in the first place. The second and third place won a B-Sides Las Vegas ticket, okay? So again, we're doing a bunch of stuff for you guys so you can come up. We also were part of B-Sides Mexico City back in July. Alevsky and myself, well, he did one workshop. I gave another presentation with another Pacific Hackers member. And yeah, and we, for the first time, we run our first village. It was a soldering village. And I mean, we just look at some of the pictures here. We have the village here, and as you can see, the three of us, we were there, and people were happy. It was the first time, doing something internationally, and it was very pretty cool that people were able to come and see what we do here in Silicon Valley. So what as we're expanding, that's the things we're trying to do, right? So for Black Hat, we have an amazing opportunity to represent Pacific Hackers at Black Hat. So we presented, so Jen, the CEO, myself, and the former, the founder and former president of Pacific Hackers, Rod Soto, we gave a talk on the beauty and the not so beauty things of cybersecurity. And I can tell you that a lot of people were impressed on, the things that we mentioned. I've been saying this in the last 2 weeks. This industry is not easy. It gives you a lot of reward because, whatever you're doing, you're making the world a safer place. But unfortunately, there's a lot of negatives of this industry, right? And those are the things that we highlighted. The main purpose of the talk was to show people how we create hacker communities, how we're sharing this knowledge and all that. But then at the same time, it was a 360 degree on what cybersecurity is and what the hacker communities are and all that, right? So again, you're more than welcome to look at the pictures. And yeah, we had a really great time. And yeah, so a lot of good things came up out of it. So we made it to Black Hat. Not many people can say that, we did not submit to Black Hat. Black Hat came to us and asked us to speak there. So again, we're growing. And finally, we were at B-Sides, Las Vegas. We did not have something in there because we were really busy at Black Hat. But, Alevsky, he's gonna give his presentation in a few minutes. I don't know how he did it. He gave 6 presentations between B-Sides B-Sides Las Vegas and DEF CON. Again, my props to you, man, because that level of anxiety, adrenaline, everything running through your body. I mean, just being here today and knowing that I have to talk in front of people gives me a little bit of that adrenaline. But when you are at that level, like people go to B-Sides and they are there because of you. Like his workshop in B-Sides Las Vegas sold out just in a few minutes. And I was like, that's great. Well, now you have a problem to have, right? Good problem to have, because now the adrenaline is gonna come up. Now you're like wondering, shit, what am I gonna say, or what I'm gonna do? So anyways, but yeah, so we have some presence there in besides Las Vegas, because thank you, Alevsky. And you know, throughout you know, DEF CON, we've had a lot of good things going on around. And you know, one of the things that definitely, you know, we're proud to say is like the creator of our badge gave a shout out to us. So this is our badge, in case you didn't know. And that's a whole separate conversation. I'll tell you more about it later. But this badge was part of his presentation, and as you can see, it's listed here. But not only there, he actually, you know, as part of his presentation, you know, he oh, here we go. Here is the other one, where he showed the other 3 badges that he made for the conference, which is this one, which is the AI Village at DEF CON. This is the Bug Bounty Village, and this is the Archeum badge. So, but yeah, so he posted in there, and you know, we're very humble that he picked our badge to be shown at DEF CON. So we had a lot of presence at DEF CON this year, and unfortunately, we did not play a CTF like previous years. So 2 years ago, the Pacific Hackers team won a first place, the Red Alert CTF. That year, they did not select it as a black badge, but last year and this year they did. Which kind of sucks because we already won that CTF, right? So Alevsky, Max, and other members. So what we're trying to do is next year, we're gonna try to form a team and we're gonna play CTFs. That's actually our goal. So if you're interested in playing CTFs, we're gonna be pushing for that, okay? So, so with that, you're more than welcome to look at the pictures. So go to flickr.com, photos, Pacific Hackers, and look at the albums. You'll see all the pictures that we have. And with that, I'll pass it on to Alevsky, because now he's going to talk about his side of things with Hacker Summer Camp. So there you go.
Yeah, thank you everybody for welcome. Marco already gave a good summary, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit more of the details of Hacker Summer Camp in case you want to join us next year. So the week of Hacker Summer Camp, there is multiple events happening. So it's literally there is fun for the whole week. We usually start at B-Sides. B-Sides Las Vegas happens in a hotel, in a casino called the Tuscany. So it has been there like for a while, so you can just join on Monday, and then you pre-register there. You can hang out with people. B-Side Las Vegas, I like this one because if you have been to other B-Sides, like the one in San Francisco, the one in some other states, it's a little bit, you know what to expect, but every B-Side has like a special twist. So this year the theme was like Halloween, so it was more like a comic kind of thing because people were like dressed with Halloween costumes, which was cool. And it's smaller than regular DEF CON, but it still have a lot of interesting stuff. For example, my favorite activity there is a CTF kind of exercise called Broad versus Joes, which is literally a team of like 20 blue teamers trying to defend against a team of 6 red teamers, right? So like you see them like literally live, the whole army of blue teamers versus that small squad of red teamers, and you see everything in real time. You can hang out with them. There is actually also a lot of good talk, good conferences, good workshops. As Marco mentioned, I give them, I did 3 things there during B-Sides. I have a couple of pictures, which is a workshop, a Kubernetes security workshop that sold out. I give a presentation as part of the Proving Grounds in B-Sides, which is it's a program for speakers that wants to take it to the next level, meaning they want to speak on an international conference for the first time. And they assign you a mentor. So in my case, they assigned me a super cool guy. His name is Alan Friedman. He works for CISA, for the government. He has a lot of experience. So having his expertise, his coaching to basically train me how to communicate better, how to do better presentations. I feel like I have a lot, I won a lot from that. But moving on, there is also at the same time Black Hat. So Black Hat, if you have been to RSA here in San Francisco, is very similar. So it's more focused to the enterprise type of people, the decision makers. There is the ticket to get into Black Hat is very expensive, it's like 2,000 something like that. But the type of activity, the type of content that you are going to see there is different, right? So if you are more into a decision-making position at your company, definitely Black Hat is the way to go for you. That is where all the business happens, like all the business gets closed, stuff like that. They have very clear technical material as well, but I feel like the main focus for Black Hat is people that want to do business in cybersecurity industry. So a couple of people here went to Black Hat. I have some pictures. And then finally, after Black Hat and B-Sides happen at the same time, now is DEF CON time, right? DEF CON starts on, I think it starts on Thursday, correctly? On Thursday, but the first day of DEF CON, they call it LineCon, which means like there is no activities, it's a huge line of people trying to get the badges. And every year, the amount of attendees has increased. This year, they have 50,000 attendees, so you can imagine the line. But it's still fun because you are in a line with a lot of people. There is a bunch of activity. There is a lot of people that you casually meet on the line and just exchange ideas, talk about cool stuff. There is also a lot of good parties when they want, so you can just attend people and you never know if that person is very important in the space and they can get you into a party or they can give you some advice or something that will help you in your career. The thing is that once you attend DEF CON, like the first day, then there is a lot of things to do, right? Inside DEF CON, there is what we call the villages. The villages are like communities inside DEF CON that if you want, you literally can just spend all your time in the village, right? You just choose whatever topic, whatever kind of like what you are looking for. And there is many ones to choose. Like some of the most popular are obviously the red team village, the blue team village, IoT, AppSec, but there is many more, right? Like here I just put like the one that I attend. But if you are into, like, for example, biohacking village, there is a village for that, right? Or telecommunications or satellites, aerospace village. There is literally like any type of hacking or any type of cybersecurity that you want to learn. There is a group with like-minded people like you to be there, right? So yeah, maybe at some point we're going to have Pacific Hacker Village there. This year we have I'm from Mexico, obviously, so we have one that is called La Villa Hacker, which was a village focusing Latinos in cybersecurity. So I was very happy to see representation in there. So there is definitely the contacts and the networking there. Moving on, probably one of the highlights of this DEF CON, this year was the badge. So the badge this year was, a lot of people say like it's the best badge ever that they have designed ever. And in case you want to look and play with it after the talk, you can, I have a bunch of badges that I got during the conference. You can come and talk and play with it. Some of them have CTFs. But the case is that this badge is an electronic badge. Like this is very different from last year that it was just like a piece of plastic, like a piece of art, but a lot of people were kind of disappointed that it didn't have like any blinking lights or LEDs or whatever. So this year, this is basically a Game Boy Advance emulator, right? So it has some games, it has some CTS inside. There is people already like hacking it and modifying. It can run like pretty much every Game Boy Advance video game. So I think they released the firmware with a couple of fixes and patches, so you can download it and start hacking with it. And in DEF CON, similar to a lot of other conferences, like the badges have like different colors, meaning what the type of person you are. Like for example, the regular one is human, is the one that I have. But if you are a member of the press, you have one that is green, or if you are part of a village, it's a different color. So that's very easy to identify like who is working on what during the conference, right? There is red ones that are like for goons, which is the people that is part of the staff. So you can also go and ask for help to them. And you know, use Engage. The main theme for DEF CON this year was Engage, so they really want people to go and talk to each other, right? As Marco were mentioning, like one of the coolest things for DEF CON is the badges, or badge was mentioned during the talk of the people that work on doing all these electronics. I myself this year collect all of these badges that you see here. There is multiple ways to collect them. Some people will be selling them during the conference, like as if you are into collecting them, like buying them or stuff like that. There is definitely people that will sell them. Some other groups, some other villages, they are gonna give it to you for being part of, for example, giving a talk. The Red Team Village give me a speaker badge, which is right there. The Recon Village also gave me another badge for speaking of their track. So there is multiple ways of getting badges, right? And as I mentioned, like each one of those have like different CTS or different games that you can play. So you won't get bored during the conference. Moving on, Mark already mentioned a little bit of this, but we as Pacific Hacker Organization, we did a couple of engagements during these 3 events. So we were at the Black Hat. Marco was delivering a panel with Rod Soto and Jen. They were talking about the struggles of running a nonprofit organization and things like that. I also did a couple of panels for about working in cybersecurity as a person from Latin America, and I also did a workshop of the Red Team Village and a workshop of the AppSec Village, and delivered a couple of other talks and workshops of B-sides. So this is what I'm saying is like if one of your goals, if one of your dreams is to speak at an international conference, you can reach out to us, right? In my case, the experience was I did the call for paper like as everybody else. But I have been working on producing this workshop for 2 years now, right? So I have been producing this workshop, I have been testing it over and over here at Pacific Hackers, at other companies. So by the time that I got selected, I feel confident enough that I have good material for people to you know, come and absorb this knowledge, right? So we are very happy to you know, like coach you, like share our insights or knowledge, and if that's what you want in the future, like we can definitely support you with that. Another thing is after DEF CON, there is a bunch of parties, right? There is literally a website called DEF CON Parties in which you can go and see what are the different vendor parties or the different use like communities parties that are happening during all this week. And you can just choose and you can select which one you want to go. Some of them are open to the public. You just have to bring your badge so they know that you are part of the hacking community. Some others are by invitation only, because usually they are run by vendors or they are like run by some community groups. So there is definitely no lack of events and parties, right? Here is a picture of Pacific Hackers. We were at the Optic party in the Daylight Club. So there is also some other members there, Cameron and Jessa, which also they were there during the conference. And the most important for us as an organization is also just to have fun, right? If you want to go with us next year, it's probably your first DEF CON, you don't know anything there in Vegas, or it's your first time at Vegas, you can just hang out with us, right? And we are gonna have a good time. We're gonna go and have dinner or meals. You can also just go and do your own thing. Because I was very busy this year, I literally only, DEF CON this year was in a place called the Vegas Convention Center, which was different from previous years. And Vegas Convention Center has 3 levels, and it was a massive space. So I was very busy running between villages, so I could only explore the first 2 levels. I never got it to the 3rd level. But it was also a good time to use like relax and sit down and have dinner with friends or lunch with friends and then continue, right? So you are welcome to join us, or if you want to go and do your own thing, you can also do that. There is pretty much things to do. It is also, I think this is one of the last dinners that we have at a very popular taqueria there. So yeah, as I say, like if you wanna go next year, you're welcome to us. And with that, thank you so much for listening to me.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention is we have our DEF CON 32 edition stickers, so I'll leave them in here in the corner, so more than welcome to have one. This is the last we have, so please take one so we can share with others. And another thing I want to mention about Alevsky specifically, Alevsky came to Pacific Hackers back in 2019, and when he came from Mexico, when he moved from Mexico to the US, he was looking for a community, right? And he found this community, and he started just like other members just coming in. Eventually, he started giving talks, and then eventually started doing workshops. And as he told you, then he started like focusing on creating a workshop that he could potentially, share it at different, conferences and events and stuff like that. So, I mean, this year he presented on behalf of Pacific Hackers at RSA. Again, he's like the proof of what Pacific Hackers is all about. It's about dedication, perseverance, and being part of the community and share back, right? So kind of like that pay it forward mentality. So again, I'm welcome everyone to do the same. And with that, I'm going to introduce our next presenter. He has been a contributor as well. He's probably been longer than Alevsky, but this is his first time, decided to present. And I said, well, it was about time. So thank you, Alex, for jumping in and share some of your knowledge. This guy is amazing. She's shy, and it's okay to be shy. A lot of people in our industry were introverts. Probably not me, but most of them are. So again, we're giving this stage, we're providing this venue for you to do something else that you never thought of. So please share the knowledge. I know you know something that the other person next to you doesn't know, so share it. So with that, Alex, come forward, and thank you so much for giving this awesome workshop. So thank you. All right. Let's connect. Right. Okay, so, that's okay, never mind, that's your screen. That's desktop number 2. So I think if you move it to the right, so move the mouse to the right. Yeah, it was here. Okay, now you're sharing, yeah, if you want to move that number here. Share, there is a couple of things that I want to add into the workshop that people see. You can move it there, so it has it right for you there. But I use all the material and everything. Oh, yeah, you can do that. Or yes, like the idea of doing here is that if you stop in any step of the workshop, I can help you with the. Okay, so now you're believe like we're people with like using like Windows system for Linux that I never tested it in that. But Okay. Yeah. Okay, so. Hi, everybody. Welcome to OpenPGP email encryption workshop. Okay, about me. My name is Alex Chesnakov. I came here I'm originally from Ukraine. Come here around 15 years ago. And despite my heavy Russian accent and Russian last name, I'm Ukrainian. Very happy to be here. Right now I'm working as a security engineer, security manager at Health Gorilla. Health Gorilla is a healthcare startup here at Bay Area. I'm with them for around 4 years. Before coming to security, when I came here to US, I was a senior electrical engineer working here at another company building transformers, big transformers. It was fun, but I feel like I can do something else. It's became such a routine, the same, all the same. It was not much fun as in security. So I decided to switch and a lot of people told me like, you're crazy, Alex, you have good position, you know what you're doing. So now I want to do something else. It's and don't be discouraged. A lot of people told me that, oh, it's impossible. You will go down like money-wise and you will not find the job. So don't be discouraged. Don't listen to anybody telling you that you cannot do anything. And so I'm heavy Linux user. I use Linux at home. It's a lot of fun, much more privacy focused Linux if you compare to Windows, for example, especially this new feature like recording everything. I don't know, for me it's just crazy. We use AWS at work, so I have quite a few AWS certificates. And it's interesting, you can do a lot, and it's very fast growing field. As Marco mentioned, I'm in CTF, won few places here at Pacific Hackers a few times. And yeah, it's fun. Play CTF, it's easy to start, you don't need anything except computers. It's good place to start. And so fun fact about me, I'm flying kites in Shoreline Park and flying kites with my daughter often. And I'm not representing my company here, only myself. So goal of today's workshop would be introduction to OpenPGP encryption, just like how it works, why it works, and what it is. Then we will create OpenPGP keys, and then Thunderbird email client. It's very easy way to start with PGP encryption, and then we will exchange few messages. And at the end, I will show CLI options with OpenPGP and how to sign files, encrypt files, decrypt files. It's all possible with OpenPGP. Encryption. So I'm working at Health Gorilla field.
working at medical field. We bind by HIPAA security and privacy rules, and there is a lot of before onboarding new customer, we have to be sure that they are secure when we share personal information between. So there is a lot of questionnaire going back and forth, and sometimes I can see like question from other company. Do you use encryption? It's just meaningless because encryption could be in different form and shape. You need to specify what encryption do you mean. So encryption, you can encryption algorithms. There is symmetric, where you use the same encryption key to encrypt information and to decrypt it, and asymmetric. And one example would be OpenPGP. And so asymmetric encryption is dividing key on two parts, public and private, give you a lot of very interesting properties. We will talk about this later. And a few usage. So where you can use encryption? You can use encryption in transit. And example of this would be HTTPS traffic or Wi-Fi encryption. At rest, it means when it's sitting on hard drive and like Mac and encrypt disk by default Windows, you can use encryption to encrypt your disk hard drive. And another type, it's end-to-end encryption. So it means you encrypt messages in your device and somebody decrypt on their device. There is no decryption in between. And OpenPGP give you this possibility to do end-to-end encryption. So why would you need OpenPGP? So some of you may be too young to remember, but like until 1996, it was illegal to export encryption tool with encryption stronger than 40 bits. And by today's standard, it's like few days of decryption. You can break all encryption from 30 years ago. And then I put some links, and I will share. I will share slides. You can click links, and there is good article about Phil Zimmerman and what he did. And so this was in the past, but right now a lot of governments working to ban encryption. They're not calling it ban, they just saying, oh, but we have to scan all your messages. And there is implication to this. And you can see here, it's usually anti-terrorism, I will protect the kids. And as a father, I'm all for protecting kids, but you need to do it in different way. You cannot just give government backdoor to your encryption algorithms. It was proved many times that if there is backdoor, it will leak, and everybody will, all the hackers will after your information. And another examples why you would use encryption right now. So just encrypt your files, and then you can put them on Dropbox and be sure that even if Dropbox hack, nobody can read your files. Or in email, probably most of you got messages, SMS message or email from somebody pretending to be CEO of the company. Oh, Alex, send me few gift cards right away. I'm on meeting. We're getting them all the time. And how to be sure whom this message come from? And with OpenPGP, you can do this. Or some companies ask if you submit bug, they ask to encrypt your messages, email with OpenPGP. Or another very wide example, you download some program but they are, okay, check our signature to be sure it's us and nobody changes and you don't know how to do this. But we will talk about this. I will show how to do this. So terminology. There is confusion, PGP, GPG, OpenPGP, they sound the same. PGP is pretty good privacy. It is software. It's proprietary, created by Phil Zimmerman, by PGP Corporation. Later it was sold to Symantec and then Broadcom. And GPG is also software, but it is free and open source software that we will download and use in today's workshop. And then OpenPGP. OpenPGP is standard. It's not software, it's standard. And PGP and GPG are OpenPGP compliant softwares. So don't call GPG PGP because they will upset. It's like, okay, it's our product, why you call somebody else's product? So in general, OpenPGP is safe, like everything is OpenPGP compliant, but PGP and GPG are software, some implementation on the standard. And then there is few terms that you need to know when you work with encryption. Plain text. This is a text that you want to encrypt. It's text, it's your message. It could be like photo or binary file or just text message. Like secret message that you can read, this would be plain text. And then there is ciphertext. This is encrypted text. And I encrypted previous secret message with ROT13 encryption, and this is how it looks like in encrypted format. This is ciphertext. And then there is cipher. Cipher is algorithm to perform encryption, decryption. And one of the very easy example would be ROT13, where you substitute A to N, B to O, C to P, and this is how you get this text. And then there is very important for encryption in general and also for OpenPGP hash. Hash is function map data to arbitrary size or fixed size value output. So what it means, at the input, you can get any file or text, any length, but output would be fixed. And we will work with hashes. We will download some binary and we'll check the hash later. And hash has very interesting properties. So it will produce always the same length of the hash. And if you change even one bit in the input, you will have 50% different bits in the hash result. And the same input always gives the same hash. And this is one-way function. You cannot recover plain text from a hash. It's very, very important as well. So what is goals of PGP cryptography? First goal is confidentiality. Message content remain private. This is mostly like when you think about cryptography, this is what you think about, confidentiality, but there is also goals. Integrity refers to keeping a message unchanged. So if somebody send you a message, like send me some money to this bank account. With integrity, you are sure that nobody changes bank account in the middle. Non-repudiation. Person cannot deny signing a particular message. And authenticity, if you combine all these effects simultaneously. And we will talk about this. There is usage examples. So I want anyone who reads this message to be sure that I sent it, that there was no change. This is non-repudiation and integrity, and what you would do, you would digitally sign message with your private key. And like opposite function, when you get the message, how you verify senders, you verify signature with sender's public key. Sometimes you want to send message and only intended recipients can read. It's confidentiality. You would encrypt message with the recipient's public key. And we will talk about this in more details later. And and if you want to message be readable only by a recipient and want recipient be sure message come from me, this authenticity. You encrypt message with recipient's public key and digitally sign message with your private key. So what is confidentiality? It's similar to when you send postcard. You know that everybody can read this postcard, but nobody knows what does it mean. And it's true for emails as well. Like emails, it's standard need some people like messages, email servers will see where email come from, where it goes, but they cannot see content of the email if you encrypt it. And in one of the example of integrity, when you download Kali Linux ISO, there is a hash sum, and you can check it and be sure that your files that you download was not changed. And example of non-repudiation is DocuSign. Probably all of us sign documents through DocuSign, and this is what gives DocuSign this non-repudiation property. Another example would be sign programs, drivers. Windows always complain, oh, your drivers will not sign. So this is what it's referencing. And authenticity. So you know where it's come from, you know it was not changed, and you know nobody could read the message. And this is example of internal word. You can check signature and encryption. So another very big difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption. With symmetric encryption, you encrypt your messages with the same key that you decrypt with. So you use the same keys. With asymmetric encryption, you encrypt with one key and you decrypt with another. So this is a big difference. And asymmetric encryption having these two parts, public key and private key, this is all what gives OpenPGP all these properties that we talked about. Yeah, the same. You encrypt with one key and you decrypt with another. And we will see example of using this later. Okay, so it's time to do hands-on. So we will use Thunderbird email client because it's very easy to start with, and there is different way to install it. you go to thunderbird.net. If you're on Mac, you can brew install, or you can just go to this website and click to download and install Kali Linux and Windows. And when you finish downloading and installing, you can sign in your account, and Thunderbird gives you option to create new email address. I will talk about this later, but for Google and Outlook, do not enter password here. If you go to like Google, you can, or Outlook, you can create like application password. Don't use it. Just without entering password, just click continue, and it will pop up login screen in your browser, and then you can log in here. It's much better way to, instead of this application password. And I believe Google is deprecating it, and Outlook, I have issues with this as well. So download Thunderbird and log in to your account. And if you choose to create new email address, this is what I did. I didn't want to show my stuff. So you will get notice that
Quick question for the Google account, is there any difference or preference on the email protocol, the POP3 or email, or doesn't matter?
oh, so you definitely don't want POP3, you want IMAP.
IMAP?
Yes. So if you choose to do new email account with there is mail fence Thunderbird offer, it's free account, but it will be limited in the feature after 15 days. For example, you will not be able to use Thunderbird to log in your account. You can do it, you can still do it through web browser, but not from Thunderbird. So probably it's better just to use your own email address if you already have. So let me know when you're done, so I know like most of the people done.
Does it have to be Gmail?
Hmm?
Does it have to be Gmail?
No,
Okay,
any email address will do.
okay. I tried connecting my, it's on.
Proton doesn't work. It's gonna get-
Oh, yes, Proton doesn't work.
It
No,
does, but
there is
you need,
bridge,
Yeah,
you
you gotta
have
use
to
the
install
bridge.
bridge.
yeah, gotta
somewhere.
be correct.
Do you have another or just
Yeah.
one? Or you can create new email. If you cannot log in, just get a new email. Here you see, get a new email address. So at least here you will be able to continue and, but you will not be able to use this email address after 15 days with Thunderbird. You can, but you have to pay. Hey, how are you doing? Is anybody able to finish logging in? Could you raise your hand if you're done? I know, like, oh, okay. Okay, so let's continue slowly. Now let's. So to use OpenPGP encryption with Thunderbird, you will need to generate new key pair first. And so if you so you go to your Thunderbird, then there is tools. And then there is OpenPGP key manager. You click on it. And then there is on the top, generate new key pair. So it will ask you a few things. First, for which email address you want to generate this key pair. I have two, so I have to choose. If you have just one. Then there is key expiration. And I don't know, for first key, you can put 1 year, so it will expire in 1 year. And later you can even expand this expiration. It's possible to do this. And then there is advanced settings and key type. There is two key types, RSA and ECC, ecliptic code. So by default, there is RSA, it's older standard and it's supported by probably all of the existing software. ECC, it's a little bit newer, but it has much shorter key. It doesn't really matter, but if you want to keep it short and simple, ECC will do. It's has much shorter key, and then you click generate key. Okay, everything good? Move on. Then to use your new generated OpenPGP key, you need to tell Thunderbird to start using them. So you go to your Thunderbird, and then you go to settings, account settings. You go to account settings, and then to the email address, there is hsnakov@mailfencer.com, and then end-to-end encryption. And you have to click on your key, because by default it will be none. If you don't see this, you may want to click here like add key, and then I don't know, cancel, and it should pop up here. Mhm.
Where you get to the page, which settings?
Yeah, you go to Thunderbird account settings, and then on your email address end-to-end encryption, and you click on your new generated key. So this is optionally, if you want, you can publish your key on key server. There is benefits that people can find your key and send you emails, encrypted emails. But downside, there is you give away your email address, your name. There is privacy implication. But I did this so we can you can see how it works. And let me show you. So you go to Thunderbird, and then you go to tools, and then OpenPGP key manager. Then you choose your key, and you go to key server, and then there is publish button. So I already published my key, so I can publish again.
Can you reverse it? If you publish it once, can you get it back?
So how this works? When you publish it, so first of all, you can have many public key pairs. You can have many, but when you send it to key server, especially like key servers that we working with, and by default it is so by default it is set up to is openpgp.org. So this server is a little bit different than many other servers, and it will get all your keys and will keep them. But if you search by email address, you will be able to find only one key, the latest that you uploaded. So it's if it's the same, I don't know, it's probably just ignore this key. And when you click publish, you should get email address. And this is for a little for security. So because I can generate keys for anybody, for any email address. There is no verification. You can put, when you're generating key, you can put any email address. But what this key server doing, it's trying to verify that you can receive emails on this address. So when you search somebody's email address on key server, at least you know that they were able to verify the email address. One more time. So you go to Thunderbird, then to Tools, OpenPGP Key Manager, and then choose your email address in the key server, publish keys. And you should get email address that please click on this page. So you should get this email address. Automatic message. So you uploaded this key. And please click link below. What happens if I don't click the link? It means that you will be able to find my key, but OpenPGP key ID, but you will not be able to find my key typing just my email address. This difference if you confirm or not. And also another way to do the same, if you click here, now if you go to keys.openpgp.org, and search for you can search for your key if you already publish and confirm. Okay, here is my keys. Okay, so if you publish key, we can move on. The next exercise would be to exchange encrypted emails with Edward. And Edward is free software foundation project to help start with OpenPGP. So what you need to do, you need to send email to Edward dot dash en at fsf.org. And you need to put at least one word on subject and to body of the email. And before sending email, you want to click here and attach my OpenPGP public keys. This is how Edward will get your key, and with your public key, they will be able to to decrypt your emails and send encrypted emails to you.
Like for the public key or public key, we have to download it to.
You already have your since you created your on this step. Generate new key pair. Since you generated, you have your public key and you have your private key already on your computer saved on Thunderbird.
So I'm seeing a warning that says end-to-end encryption requires resolving key issues for Edward and FSF and all. What does that mean?
You got email back or what?
No, I don't.
Let's. Okay, so don't, okay, good point. So you created this email, Edward, you put one word subject and one word to body. And okay, let me do it and explain what's going on. So I get new message and I use. So right now you're at the point where you don't have Edward's public key. And let me replicate this. I will go here and I have it, but I will delete Edward's key. Edit. Delete. Yes. Okay, I don't have it. And then so what happens if I will try to encrypt email to Edward? I will get message, end-to-end encryption requires a resolve key issue for Edward. So what does it mean? It means that we don't have Edward's public key and we cannot encrypt email to him or to her. So what I want you to do right now, don't encrypt it, just click attach and attach my OpenPGP public key. So right now we will send our public key to Edward. And we cannot encrypt yet, but we will soon. So you click attach, nothing happens here, but it will attach when you try to send it. Okay, ready? Let's send it. You see attachment pop up.
Remember the keys for you. So when I go to the attach file, it doesn't show the keys. The Thunderbird find it automatically.
You click in the drop down arrow.
Yeah, let's see.
Here. Yes, so I can add it to this. Yes. Yes.
So you go to account. Okay, so.
I'm good. This is a lively day.
Okay, I don't know, it's not working right now, my email, but you will send it to Edward and you will receive back response from Edward. So it should look like this. Hello, I'm Edward, I'm friendly. And also Edward should send you its OpenPGP public key. And after that, you should be able to exchange encrypted emails. So you send this, you should receive email back. And so because we didn't verify Edward's public key, we can see that message is encrypted, but uncertain digital signature. So what we can do now, because we know that we sent to Edward, we can click discover. And then we can accept Edward's key and click import. So after that, and then there is a few levels of trust for this key. So you can reject key if you know, okay, this is wrong key, it's not Edward. Or you can maybe, or yes, I have, but I have not verified this is correct key. But you know this is from Edward, you can click yes, I have verified. And then you can see this is good digital signature and message is encrypted. So we just exchange, not exchange, but receive encrypted message from Edward. Okay, how are you doing? Did you follow? Everything good so far? No problem? If you have any problem, let me know. Let's resolve it right now. So you will click to accept and then view what is decryption here. Okay, this is we received first encrypted email. Another way is to do like if for example we didn't receive email from Edward and we don't know what is his or her key, we can go to Thunderbird, then tools, OpenPGP key manager. I don't know, something wrong with my connection to mail friends. It's trying to send email. So if you go to key server and then discover key, you can put Edward's key, for example. And so I'm just showing this, for example, if you know if you want to exchange emails and you can check if they have key already published. This type. But it should work if you put correct email address, you should get the result. Okay, now you can send encrypted email to Edward. If you reply to this hello, I am Edward, you can click reply. And now you can click encrypt. And you can encrypt, digitally sign, and by default, it will look like this. Encrypt, encrypt subject, digitally sign. And you click send. And after like minute or two, you should receive response message from Edward. But in this, if you choose to encrypt subject, you will see 3 dots instead of subject. And I will explain why it happened. So it should look like this. You see 3 dots? No subject anymore. But we can verify that good digital signature and message is encrypted. So it's good digital signature encrypted, but 3 dots. So we will return back to these 3 dots, but how do you know that message that you send and receive indeed encrypted? So maybe it's not encrypted because it doesn't look like encrypted it looks plain text here. So how do you know? So if you log in your web, if in your email web interface and find these messages too from Edward, especially not the first ones that were just plain text message with your keys, but last when we saw were encrypted. You should see something similar to this. You will see PGP version, and you will see it's just version 1 in this attached text file. And encrypted will look like this. PGP message and a bunch of garbage. So you cannot read it, and so this is how you know it's encrypted, indeed encrypted. Okay, talking about subject encryption. OpenPGP standard do not offer encryption for subject. This was additional done by Thunderbird team. It kind of nice, but it does work with Thunderbird, but doesn't work with anything else. If you like send to Edward don't know how to deal with this encrypted subject. So what you want to do, you want to uncheck this, encrypt the subject of OpenPGP messages. So if you, this is the best way, and just choose your subject carefully. It's not put like very secret, like my Bitcoin wallet. Just put hello or test or something simple instead of an encryption. So you go to Thunderbird, account settings, end-to-end encryption, and advanced settings, go down and uncheck encrypt the subject of OpenPGP message. So this way, your messages will not have these 3 dots. So next exercise would be to exchange encrypted email with somebody next to you. So ask somebody around for their email address and search for their email address PGP key in this OpenPGP or in Thunderbird OpenPGP key manager, and download import their keys.
So do we need to publish our key to be able to do that then?
I'm using.
So there is 2 ways to do this. First, yes, you can publish your keys and then anybody can find. Another way would be you exchange email and send another person your public key.
Okay,
as attachment, as we did for Edward.
gotcha.
So this is another, you will have one more step, so you have to go back and forth one more time, but you don't have to publish it.
Like, we're going to do, and I'm gonna fix here. where it takes values. Like, how can they do? Like that technique.
So I also put, you can send it to me, but I don't know, my email address with mail fence doesn't work right now, so don't send it to me. I cannot get it. Some connected to I'm not. So, but this is free service, it's like introduction. It doesn't look very robust. And I experienced this at home, it's the same, but I was able to gain access again, entering my credentials. I unforgot.
How do you want to do it? Yes, I mean, I already on my.
So question was, how is easier to revoke your key? If you publish, you want to remove them. There is few ways. If you go to OpenPGP keys, openpgp.org. You can manage your key, you see? You can upload or manage your keys. If you click here, you need to enter your address. So you should get email address with the link. Okay, no, email sent, but I cannot get emails. So you should get the link and then you click on it and you will log in, and I believe you can delete your key if you want. So there is few ways to do this. You can, yes, it can, okay, it could be done here in keys openpgp.org. But there is other key servers, OpenPGP key servers. None of them allow you to remove something. You just upload and that's it. So with this, yes, you can, but there is other ways to do, like if you lost your key, there is other ways. There is revocation certificate, and we will talk about this later. So revocation will give you, so nobody can send, can search by your email. That's what it does. And it will tell it's revoked, but it's tricky, you told us. And this is why you want to keep your key short period of time. You don't want to, like when you create key, it asks you, okay, how long you want to key this to be valid. You can put 1 year, you can put 3 months. If you play, just put 3 months. And then the key will expire and nobody will be able to encrypt messages to you with this keys, like accidentally.
Quick question on this. So like, you know, like in hardware keys, like you can have a backup, like you register 2 hardware keys to access SSH to server or something.
Yeah.
Is there like a similar concept here, like if I lose my private key, can I have a backup key and still recover my email and read it, or what's wrong?
Yes, and we will talk about.
Oh, perfect.
one way eventually.
Okay, do we need another minute or two to finish up or we're done?
Another second.
Yeah, I can click yes for this. Yes.
Guys, everybody were able to exchange emails, encrypted emails with somebody?
I think we.
Is there any questions about?
The script was already loaded.
Okay, so-
One question. Could you repeat, the part that you said about Thunderbird encrypting, the Thunderbird?
Yes,
Yeah, can you just, re-explain that? 'Cause is it only Thunderbird that does it?
so if you strictly follow OpenPGP standard, there is no subject encryption.
And then
because email is open standard and email assumes that you will be able to see your subject, everything. Not everything, but like in the email service, all your emails are unencrypted to be able to route, okay, where it should go to this email address and so on. So this is why OpenPGP do not offer encryption of this of the subject, but Thunderbird team decided, okay, it's important for people to be able to encrypt subject, and they implemented this, but this is not standard. So if you send emails to from Thunderbird clients, it will work, you will see your subject line. But if, for example, if you send it to Edward, and Edward doesn't use the Thunderbird, so instead of subject, you will see just 3 dots, like here, instead of your subject. So this is why it is probably wise to just go to account, set it into an encryption and uncheck encrypt the subject for OpenPGP messages. So this way, if somebody use another client, they still will be able to see subject. Okay, so now we will move to more advanced topics. So as I said, GPG or GNU Privacy Guard, it's CLI, and there is another GUI tool that people build around it. There is a website of GNU-PG. You will need to install OpenPGP suite for Mac. It's Blue install CAS GPG suite. For Linux, you should have GPG already installed, but you can also install Cleopatra. And for Windows, GPG for Win, and it includes GNU-PG and Cleopatra. And if you don't use Brew, you can just search GPG suite and this package of yours. So first you need to know that if you use GPG and Thunderbird, they do not exchange, they don't think keys between each other. So to be able to use the same keys that you already created in Thunderbird, you will need to export secret key or private key. And then it will ask you to use to create password for your private key. So you go to Thunderbird, OpenPGP key manager, and then file, and then backup secret keys to file.
Sorry, for a Thunderbird and
Hmm?
you said for a Thunderbird and then what?
Thunderbird OpenPGP key manager
Oh, gotcha.
and then file. So Mr. Alevsky, this is your question. How would you like back up your keys?
Oh, yes.
So this is how you back up your keys.
Oh, yeah, I see.
So it is important to to back up your, no, they said it secret private key, but also they back up your public key as well. So what happens if you lost, like, for example, you lost your laptop? So it means you will not be able to decrypt stuff that you already have. Somebody send you email, or you encrypt some files, you will not be able to decrypt them. So this is important step to back up your stuff. And then next step, you backup, you save it to, I don't know, somewhere download folder, and then you import your key to Cleopatra or GPG keychain. So here you export and save it as a file on a disk, and in Cleopatra or GPG keychain, you import them. GPG keychain. So on Mac, there is GPG keychain that looks like this. And here you can import your key, export key, and do different previous keys. So on the next steps, we will work mostly with CLI tools. And so why do you need CLI if you have GUI tool like Thunderbird, for example? Thunderbird give you a very easy way to do, but for example, if you want to encrypt file, you cannot really do this with email. You can encrypt email, but it's like clunky. With CLI, you can use automation, you can add your encryption routine to some scripts. And also it gives you full functionality, because with CLI tools, it's usually a limited functionality. You can do a few things, but you cannot do many more things. So first, easy stuff. Let's see what keys do you have. And there is a few commands: GPG list key, and to list your public key, and GPG list secret keys, to list your private keys. This is my public keys that I have in GPG keychain, and you can see where it's saved. It's users alex dot pg publics. And we can do the same with secret keys. So this is first step. You will need this to find your key IDs and just to see what you have. And if you compare output from here with GPG keychain, you will see exactly the same keys. So in this case, GPG keychain and CLI to GPG, they synchronize keys, they save keys the same place. So next is the same what you did in Thunderbird. You can export your secret key and export your public key as well. There is few things that I want to mention. Armor. So armor means it will look not like a binary file, but it will look like text. So this is what armor do. It export in ASCII format. And here you can see PGP public key, they look like text. This is because of armor. Otherwise, it will look like garbage. And key ID. Key ID, another interesting topic. So here you can see full key, but key ID would be last 8 digits of the key or last 16. Both will work. Or you can even use email address. If you export secret or export your key, you can put your email address. It will not work if you have few keys associated with the same email address. But if there is just one key, you can do this list key, and then there is demonstration export. This is how you export your key, and then you save on safe place as backup in case you lost your computer. Delete key. You can delete keys, and the same. Key ID is last 8 or 16 digits. You can import keys. From CLI, you can also work with key servers. If you use default server, you don't need to specify this. But if you use PGP meet edu, for example, you will need to specify which key server you're using. So there is command GPG search, and it give me my keys back. And then after you search, you find your key, you can receive keys. GPG receive keys, and you can specify full key or like 16 or 8. I'm not sure if 8 will work, but 16 will work. Last 16 digits of the. And then here you can generate key, and you will have much more flexibility with generating key. So I usually default will work. First question command would be GPG full generate key. First question, what type of key? And you see you have a bunch of different keys. Default usually works well. It's compatible with most of software by this moment. And then you will choose how long you want this key to be valid. And then you will put your name, your email address, And it also will produce a revocation certificate and it will tell you where it's stored. Yeah. And there is your key. For revocation certificates, you want them to save them. You don't want to keep them on the same laptop. If you lose laptop, you lose your revocation certificates as well. So it's not good. So you probably want to keep them on separate place. And so how do you use your revocation certificate? If you lost your laptop or you forget password to your private key, then you can upload this revocation certificate to key server. And if somebody search for this key, it will get notice, okay, this key revoked, and it will not return keys. So even you publish your revocation certificate, you still can decrypt all your email that you received before, and if you encrypted some files, you still can decrypt them. It's just for other people to know that this key are expired.
To do that for each key server that you uploaded into?
Yes, the same server where you uploaded your keys. Then there is few example of sign-in messages, and as you can see here, there is many ways to sign something. So simplest GPG signed file, and so this is my text file. This is my message, just signed message. If you output your message, so first of all, it will give GPG extension, and it's very confusing, so many extensions. So if you output your GPG, you see I didn't use armor, and this is how it looks like. And then another way, clear sign file. It will produce your message, exact message, and then signature below. This was used mostly in old time with Usenet. So you publish your message, you clear sign your message and put it all together, and people can verify that you put this message, not somebody else. And then there is detached signature. So you can detach sign file. It will be binary and it will be separate file C. And then you can use specific user to specific key to sign file, not just here. I don't know what it use. It just use something, right? But if you have many keys, if you have one key, no problem. But if you have many, you can specify exact keys that you want to use to sign. Then there is verify. GPG verify my message text signature, and it will give you this result. Good signature from Alex Chest. And it's smart enough to understand it, see which key we use to sign, and it will use not the same key, but if it was private, it will use public key to verify signature. And then let's do this another exercise. So you often see you download something and then there is PGP signature, and you don't know what to do with this. And they also like state, okay, you always have to check your PGP signature of the file. Okay, how do you do this? So let's do this together. If you go to www.veracrypt frames, and there is, you will see download on the right, download button. Here, if you click download, you will see this page. Then there is This readme file, GPG signature. And also hash some of the files. So you download these 3 files. So first we want to check SHA-256 some hash file and compare with what we downloaded. So if you look here. So check some file. If you open the file, so you will see SHA-256 sum for this file. What it mean? And the same 5E8C, 5E8C. So in the Mac Linux head, it means just print one line of this file, and that's what I did. And then I use SHA-SUM-A256 readme. This would calculate SHA-SUM of this readme file, and I compare it with what I downloaded from this web page, and it is exactly the same. So it means readme file was not modified. But also we downloaded this signature file for this SHA-256 txt file. And so I can also verify signature. So you put GPG, verify, veracrypt, SHA-256 txt.sig. And so it's assuming this file, and you can see fingerprint. Okay, good signature from veracrypt team. Veracrypt. And but how do you know this is the signature? You go to here by the end of the page, web page. Here you can see this is our GPG public key. You can compare with what I have. And I have this 5069 and the 5069. So it's the same thing. So this is very common workflow. You download something, you want to verify, you want to check SHA-256 sums of the file, and you want to verify signature of the file. And by the way, we could also just readme, and there is PGP signature. We could download readme and PGP and do verify against this file. readme. Another common workflow, you want to encrypt, decrypt some files. For example, like you want to put something on S3 bucket or just as backup or Dropbox, but you don't really want anybody to see what is inside files. It's maybe your tax return. You don't want it to leak to the internet. So what you would do, you would encrypt. And so here I show like short commands. E stands for encrypt, S for sign, A for armor. Armor, you may use it, may not use it. It just like looks like text. If you don't want, if you make it shorter, if it like big files, you don't need to use armor. It will be just binary file. So user, this is user with which key you want to encrypt, and then -r recipient. So I want to encrypt it for myself. So this is why I use user hsnakov and recipient the same. And there is message of your files that you want to encrypt. So you click this, and this is my original message. I do decryption, no, okay, here it is. GPG encrypt for user HSNACOV and recipient HSNACOV message TXT, and this original message. So you can decrypt it, and message that were encrypted will look like this encrypted message. And to decrypt, you will use GPG-D and message. IC stands for ASCII code. It looks like text. Okay, we close to the end. What was not covered in this workshop? A lot. So original OpenPGP standard was all about Web of Trust. So how this works? It was a very important concept that we do not use right now very often because of privacy implication. So Web of Trust, we would meet with somebody, verify the real name, real government ID to see, okay, this is this person, this is his government ID, and he said this is his or her PGP keys. And then we change, and I would sign this key with my signature, and then a lot of people see that, okay, Alex signed, so he verified it in person, so we are sure this is this person. But with privacy, we don't really want to do this. I don't want anybody like have my verify my identity. It's probably good for if you use for DocuSign, yes, then you want it. But for messages, okay, I don't want to verify. And then it also means like, okay, you met this person like face to face, and I don't know, like I don't know what this person up to. So I don't want to tell whole world that I met this person face to face. So there is privacy implication. So Web of Trust, it's not much in use anymore, but it was a very important concept when it started. It was very important to meet in person, sign somebody else public key with your key, and then you receive something, you are sure that this is from this person. So traditional PGP key servers. So they work a little bit different. You upload key to the server. There is no verification like with OpenPGP key server. You will get email that you have to click to verify that you have access to this. It's not the case with traditional OpenPGP key servers. And also they exchange all the keys between each other to like you upload to Ubuntu key server and then you open on Meet PGP key server and it will all work. But OpenPGP that we use right now, it doesn't do this. It just like on your own. So there is like different approach a little bit. I like OpenPGP key servers approach better. It doesn't it's more like privacy conscious, say. And key signing parties is what I was talking about. So person meet a lot of people meet in person and verify each other key. I guess there is not much activity such as this going on. And in the key, there is, as I said, in CLI version of GPG, you can do a lot, such as you can add your photo ID. Again, it was important some time ago, probably not anymore, and I don't want to upload my photo ID to key server. And it will be part of your public signature, and of course your key will be bigger. And there is subkeys. We didn't cover this topic, and you can do a lot with GPG edit key in command line. You can change almost everything in your like photo. You can extend your key validity. Then there is some smart card, YubiKey can use OpenPGP as well. I didn't have very much success with. I have YubiKey, I try to use it. With Mac, you have to install some custom software, it doesn't work out of the box, so. But it's possible, and I know people use it. Okay, so Q&A time, and I put some question just to start. So SSL, or what all the website use, SSH also, if you're into Linux, SSH is way to log in into Linux system. They use public-private key cryptography as well. What's the difference? Underneath it's the same technology. And you can even convert, like I know there is some custom script to convert SSH keys to OpenPGP keys. But technology is the same, but goals are different. And because of this, for example, we didn't put any like website right here in our keys. But if you use TLS encryption, of course, you have to use put your website to tell, okay, what this key website belongs to. So there is different, but technology is the same. Maybe encryption standard a little bit different, but technology is the same. For different use cases, it's just different. Or SSH, you don't need to put your email address to SSH key. So this is how they differ, but they mostly the same underneath, the same technology. Okay, next question.
A quick question, if I want to have like my email encrypted like across all my devices on my phone using OpenPGP, is there like a recommended way to share those private keys or that's like independent or everyone do it differently?
Yes, so standard is open, so everybody, all developers are welcome to create their program to work with OpenPGP. Like for Apple devices, it's less. For Android, I know there is Thunderbird, they call it K9 or something. So I believe you can use this to encrypt, to share your key and encrypt all the messages. Another way to do this, very good question. So if you have Proton account, email account, so what you can use the same technology. Proton use the same technology. So if you exchange your public keys, you can use, you can exchange encrypted messages with your Proton account. It's exactly the same. So you can export, import private key, public key into Proton and use the same. So this is another way, use Proton. It uses the same technology, but you have to pay for it, but technology is the same and use the same like public private ones. Yeah.
Does this work? What does this work when you have multiple senders?
Yes, you can put just few senders and it will encrypt every sender, every recipient with their own keys. I don't know what happens if like half of the senders have OpenPGP setup. I don't know what happens, but if everybody has, they will encrypt with their own. Everybody will be. Another interesting. So I don't know if you mentioned. If you click on send email.
Yeah, we should complain, right? Because it's not.
So before I mentioned that OpenPGP have two keys, private and public. So if you send somebody email and encrypt with their public key, you should not be able to read this email because you don't have the private keys, but you can. So it means Thunderbird did something, it's probably encrypted with your own key instead of their. So it's not exactly the same email that was sent to the recipient. So just fun fact.
What was, you mentioned Cleopatra, what was that about?
Clear what?
Cleopatra?
Cleopatra,
the
yes.
program, I think?
Yes, what is Cleopatra? Let me show you what is Cleopatra. How do I show it? So Cleopatra, it's GUI wrapper around GPG. So it understand all the keys and can, it's basically what you see here. You can see this is GPG keychain for Mac. And you can see key here, you can like click here and change trust. Okay, I trust this key, I don't trust this key. And Cleopatra doing the same. It's a Linux project.
What's the point?
It works for Linux and it works for Windows, but there is no Cleopatra software for Mac.
Then you also just mentioned these Cleopatra or GPG has a way to trust or not trust. Can you talk about like scenarios where, let's say you don't trust the key, why would you not trust the key?
Because, okay, so very important concept, as I said, I can create a key pair for your email address and pretend to be you. So how this person would know, is it me or is it you? So this is why I said like trust is very important, like web of trust, very important with OpenPGP. So this is why you need to understand how you get this key. Somebody just random send it, or you just sitting next to this person when you receive key.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if it's from a key server that Free Software Foundation runs, they know that they received an email from me, right? So is that like a valid sort of thing?
yeah, if you would use original key servers like Ubuntu PGP keys or MiIT PGP keys, there is no verification. You just upload and it's up to that person to verify what keys are yours. With OpenPGP key server, it's a little bit better. At least they verify email address. It's not 100%, but it's better than nothing. And so another way to verify, you just call people and if you know, or meet in person and say, okay, I see this key, is it your key? And you say yes, then you trust this key. But if you receive message signed by different keys, then you know, okay, something up, you need to verify again, is it like new key or just somebody pretending to be? I don't know, not much to, I don't have Cleopatra here, so, but it's the same, like,
Yeah.
oh, it's, okay, it's not the same, it's even better than here. You can do a lot, like, encrypt file, decrypt, and do different stuff. Much more than with this GPG keychain.
Would you have access to the slides?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, after like today or tomorrow, I will publish to GitHub and will publish links somewhere in.
I was testing sending an email, an encrypted email to two recipients.
Mhm.
One is, one doesn't have any public key. And Thunderbird won't allow you to do that. Because
Yeah,
what's the
I
point, right?
understand, because it gives you impression, okay, everything was encrypted, but in
Yeah.
fact, it wasn't, so
Yeah, because
it's smart enough.
yeah, it's smart.
Okay, so resources. Um, So if you want to replicate part of our workshop today, email self-defense, so good resource. This is step by step what we talk about, how to use this advert, what, and it give you some explanation how it works. It's very good resource. Second. Oh, okay, GPH, I don't know, I probably messed up something. A lot of documentation. If you're into reading, there is a lot to learn about all this stuff, very good examples, how to use. And there is very good book about OpenPGP encryption. GPG, there it is, PGP, already. But if you in, I don't know, I have access to San Jose Public Library, I believe like Santa Clara and Mountain View Library have similar resources. With San Jose Public Library library card, you can go to these resources and it will allow you to use orally whole website. And there is a lot of very good books, especially for technical stuff. There is a lot to you just access now. You will put your library card, your PIN, and you in. So very good resource. Highly recommend. We're paying for this without taxes, so please use your library. Okay, and if you want to connect to me, Alex Chesmakov on LinkedIn. Would be happy to comment, and if you have any questions, would be happy to answer them. Great. This was my first time speaking here. Hopefully it's enjoy. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you wanna thank you, Alex. Please give another round of applause to Eduardo. I can't see you employees after this, again, it was the first time, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be the last. And,
Yeah.
he has a lot of knowledge to share, so, looking forward to the next talk. And yeah, just like him, please, submit. I think we have an opening for September. I think we might have another one for October, but if not, please, let me know what you want to, talk about, and we're here for you, okay? I did not mention it earlier during my talk, but, we do have some, t-shirts, that we always, that's how we support the organization. So if you're interested in those t-shirts, Alex has some of them,
Yeah,
wearing
I
one
know
of them.
I
Yeah.
recommend, very good stuff.
We have another member here supporting us. Yeah, so if you're interested in those t-shirts, please let us know, and we have in the bag. So again, thank you so much for coming, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Again, we have the OWASP Pacific Hackers meetup. And then September 11th, we have another joint meetup with Silicon Valley Cybersecurity Meetup. And hopefully, on sometime next, like second or third week of September, we'll have another talk. Okay, so just follow us on meetup.com/Pacific Hackers, and have a great time. Have a great Saturday. Thank you.
If somebody wanna come and see the badges from that.